What's going on?
All right, let me break it down to you right quick. Andre say he catch any hop up ball, anybody can throw. Coffee say that's bullshit. You a buster.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Check it out. Anyone who says hardball is the black version of Bad News Bears is being lazy, and they're wrong. It's a far superior film. Check it out. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe to become a hood figure. That way you can recommend what movies I should do next. But for now, check it out. What's it about? On the surface, it's about a degenerate gambler whose redeeming qualities are unlocked when he coaches a baseball team. But what it's really about is the resilience of kids despite the disappointment from men in their life. Check it out. So let's knock it out the park with these characters.
You looking for faith?
Connor O'Neill is a slightly religious Catholic degenerate gambling addict who becomes coach and mentor to a team of long shots. Miss Elizabeth Wilkes is the sympathetically stern teacher of most of the kids. She's tough on them because she wants the best from them. She's not the love interest, but more of a motivating factor for Connor to straighten up. Tiki Tobin is Connor's friend, sorta. They're like reflections of one another. His hustle is ticket scalping. I think they kept it light with him because, like Judge Mathis, I know a crackhead when I see one. Real quick, here's the team. Andre Ray Pete is the kid with the headband. Jefferson Albert Tibbs is the husky kid with asthma. Miles Penderfield II is the kid with the headphones. Why his name is the second and not Junior is beyond me. But his headphones are for focus. Clarence is the tall kid with the smooth skin. Ray Ray, or Raymond Bennett, is cousin of Kofi and G-Baby. He wears the glasses. Kofi Evans is G-Baby's older brother. He might as well be the team's captain with his leadership skills. Jarvis Evans, or G-Baby, is the team's runt and his heart.
I just want to play.
And we can't forget about Jamal, who suffers the second worst outcome in the film. No one wanted to be on the team as much as him. He's not allowed to stay on the team because of a technicality. It hit hard if you understand him pleading to stay on the team was his way of begging to stay alive. What he said was, I just want to play baseball. But what I heard was, I just want to live. The rest of the team didn't have speaking roles but are Sterling, Alex, and Aaron. Jimmy Flemings is the homie that offers Connor the job of coaching for $5,000 instead of just getting hustled like he did before by Connor. Jimmy works for a firm that gives back for tax breaks, not because they care.
I do this to give something back to the community.
Matt Hyland is the bad guy of the movie. He's a coach of a well-funded team, and even though they're all coaching inner-city teams, he looks down on the Cucumbers, doing whatever he can to hinder them. He a hater for real, but check it out.
What did you say?
What I see? This movie gets compared to the Bad News Bears because the language the kids use. Yeah, they're foul-mouthed kids without fathers. However, when stripped of their bad language, what's left are private school kids from the projects. Why you got me talking? It's really not authentic or natural for all of them to be talking like that, especially seeing how they were somewhat privileged. Hollywood gotta chill with these loose interpretations of real life. They'll have you thinking that this is based on true events, when actually, Hardball is simply inspired by Bob Moskowski's book, Safe at Home, not based on it. Maybe that's why the language here seems out of place, because the screenwriter was someone outside the culture, which might explain some of the subliminal cheap shots towards black people, such as Duffy's condescending comment about coaching black kids, Tiki's joke about Connor being a coach to crack babies, and let's not forget Jimmy's double entendre sugar baby remark to Connor. Despite that, Bad News Bears are still harder to watch because one of the kids is just plain racist. And I don't think it's never corrected about it. But I digress. When you see it, 3 of the team's members don't even talk. For instance, Stilo Brim of Ridiculousness, his character I don't think says a word. Stilo was the second chubbiest kid on the team and had the number 2 fro on the squad next to Kofi. When you see it, I thought you might want to know everybody's name and their position. To help with that, I just gave them nicknames based on their appearance, like we always do in the hood. Headphones was the pitcher, Glasses was the catcher, Big Asthma was first base, Headband was second base, Tall Clarence, he was third, Kofi Mandela, that was shortstop. The unnamed quiet kid in left field, I had to look his name up. That's Aaron or Aaron. Steelo was center field, and the other unnamed quiet kid was right field. He goes by Alex in the credits. G-Baby is the unofficial mascot. He's like their little Flavor Flay. You gotta check it out. Here we go with the lessons from Hardball. Check it out. Equal attention should be applied to both education and sports.
Teaching these
Matter
boys
of
to play
fact,
baseball.
books before ball.
It's a shame no one spends any time helping them to read.
Lesson.
told you, I
Being
chose for money.
compensated for something doesn't mean you care, i.e. prostitution. It also doesn't mean you care less, i.e. teachers.
Or me telling them what to do.
Lesson.
I quit.
Kids are the last thing you want to quit on.
I'm out.
Bottom line.
I got business out of town.
All right, listen up. Cucumbers, back on the field.
Lesson.
Really one of the
You gotta
most
show
important
up to
things
get
in
over
life.
adversity.
Showing up. I'm blown away by your ability to show up through everything that's gone on.
Lesson. You gotta block out haters. Physically, mentally, and sometimes audibly. Lesson. Inner city kids without extracurricular activities are at jeopardy to become tools for misfortune. Lesson. Sometimes outside help is what's needed. If kids need guidance, coaching, or any type of assistance, your race doesn't matter. As long as you got a good heart and time to spare. That's real talk for you, man. Check it out. To reinforce the potential of these kids, we see they have to do a book report on A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. Most of the kids take part except Kofi and his cousin Ray Ray. They both read the book, yet, unlike the class, didn't like it. With the reason being, in real life, fathers don't come back like they did in the book, highlighting the real issue, which is absentee fathers and the void they create. It made me wonder, was it that void that contributed to some of the kids' lack of discipline and surplus of aggression? I mean, when you see it, the movie has daddy issues, from the book report to the song on Miles' Walkman, which is Biggie's Big Papa. The film itself is almost suggesting you ain't even gotta be a great guy to have a positive influence on the youth. You just gotta show up and care. When we see Connor take the kids out for pizza and they bring up the ship, it might as well have been a physical craft the way the thought of it took the kids away from their surroundings. Even if it was only temporary, you know? Another thing about the book the kids didn't like was that it was fantasy. And to them, fantasy wasn't reality. While a true statement it is, it outlined how they couldn't enjoy the luxury of an imaginary reality. For them, living in the hood fatherless was a hardship without a happy ending. They don't preach the message, but it's present. How we gotta do better as fathers to stay in the lives of our kids. That's why I say these kids are book smart and street smart. To even make that connection, I say they street smart because we see how situationally aware these young men are. Being able to identify different calibers of guns based on sound, and being able to comprehend the relationship of the theme from A Wrinkle in Time in comparison to their lives. Again, this goes beyond the scope of Bad News Bears. It's not until Connor himself reads A Wrinkle in Time that his heart begins to change. While we at it, let's talk about Connor for a second. He's based on Bob Mikowski, who as a youth did coke and partied hard. When that ran its course, he turned his life around, started an insurance firm, then decided to give back. He got introduced to youth leagues by Al Carter, a businessman and former project kid himself. Together for years, they have helped countless kids develop and grow. Definitely a stand-up dude who's responsible for the idea of the film. But back to the movie. I liked it, but it didn't give us a complete perspective, focusing more on the ghetto elements than on the positive sides of the hood. All the kids didn't stay in the projects is what I'm saying. They could have showed Clarence crib too. I'm just saying. I still appreciate how the director showed the practicality of how having teens and things for young people to do is imperative. In observing how cutting Jamal from the team also potentially cut his life short. And that wasn't even the saddest part. I actually cried absorbing what happened to G-Baby. For real. It just made me think how life's a gamble that's never a sure bet. Check it out for G, baby, man. I ain't gonna lie. I thought the producers was trying to be funny with the names of the team. But actually, the Kikambas, the Kintas, the Watas, the Buwas, and the Archas are all African tribes. While the movie has elements of Bob Muowski's life, the African American Youth League was the brainchild of Al Carter. What we should understand is the real dream of leagues like this is not to win the chip. The dream is to save and mentor, not the Roman way, as many kids as possible. The premise is to show it can be done in the hood, and additionally, everything that comes out the hood isn't bad. Bottom line, kids need mentoring and coaching, especially if it ain't no father figures around. If there's a moral to this movie, it's if you're gonna bet on anything, it should be the kids. Sure, these were little long shots, if you will, giving Connor his biggest payout being peace and redemption. Kids may not always be the safest bet, but they'll always be the best. But I'm no gambler, so just a real OG husband and dad in no particular order. Anyway, as always, I'm Fox. This is Check It Out. Go ahead, like, share, and subscribe so the big homie can survive, you know? I'd appreciate that, for real. If you made it this far, in my mind, you a real one. Let's hit these extras, man. All the kids that didn't have speaking roles got to use their real name. We heard Lil Wayne, Lil Zane, and Bow Wow on this soundtrack. What happened to Lil Zane, anybody? By the way, Chicago Vidocs ain't that lit. Them bad boys dark as hell. All these young men were good kids who ain't never met a belt before. This one of them films that don't get a lot of attention because it came out in the background of 9/11, like middle of September 2001. Crazy time. If you got any questions, I think I might have left something out, leave it in the comments. My only question was, what the hell does cucumbers mean? Only thing I found was, it was once a tribe in Kenya. Let me know of any lessons I might have missed and put them in the comments. Keep this in mind. These reviews are made possible with contributions from OGs and real hood figures like you. Thank you. It's appreciated in a real way. If you like this channel and would like to see it grow, you too can support it by donating to our Cash App at $IamFox or to our Patreon at Check It Out Hood Reviews. For real, fam. Thanks.